Hey, welcome back to this week's Trinity video announcements. We've been gone for a couple weeks, but now we're back. But as you can see, we are now back in our construction, back at Wagenhals Hall, and things are actually going on around us. We had to turn a few things off so you can hear us, but here we are. And as you can see, after a few weeks, a lot of changes happened. But I'm here today with Mark Hagerman, the man himself.
Don't blame me for all this.
Yes. So thanks. Good to have you here with us. Brian Eastman, who's our facilities director, who keeps track of all of the things going on. But, when we started this, there was only one person that we could have do this, was Hagerman Construction. Hagerman, you've been part of this church your whole life. You were baby Jesus in the manger at...
Who told you that?
I friend.
Yeah.
You may not have been baby Jesus in the manger at Bethlehem.
My mother used to talk about that all the time.
You were baby Jesus in the manger at Trinity, England.
That's right. Right. That was
a couple years.
That was maybe that was too many years
20
ago.
20 or 30 years ago.
20 or 30 years ago.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes. So, but your family has been part of this building, honestly. I mean, not just the congregation, but part of this building for generations.
Well, my father obviously started here, and back in the 50s, I think it was 55, 56, we put on the wing and then went underneath with the tunnel and everything else for the educational purposes. So we've been involved here. And
2009 in the front?
In front 9, in 2009 on the front wraparound there. So raising the money and then doing the construction, and that was difficult. And I guess the thing that I need to emphasize again is the historical value of this place and this beautiful church. And we've tried to, keep the design in the same criteria. Not that I'm the final design approval by any stretch of imagination, but we're looking at historical windows up here. We're looking at matching the stone on the outside, which we've done with the wraparound, and obviously a new entrance and pavement here. So I think this is going to be extremely nice. I mean, the problems we've had here, quite honestly, as Brian well knows, had been more mechanical and electrical than anything else. Because you get involved with these historical buildings and you start tearing them apart, you just don't know what's there.
Right.
So it's been a surprise for some things, but anticipated with others, I guess.
And there has been a bit of an adventure upstairs, especially with the ducts and all the ducting that's going up. I mean, we've closed holes where there were holes and made new holes where there were not holes, both in the floor and the roof.
Well, I think what's kind of interesting, and I tell other people, is the old grease trap routine that we've tried to fix with the kitchen, but where do you take the sewer out? Is the sewer going out Wayne Street and tying into that main sewer that was built 150 years ago, or like we did, we went out to Ewing Street? But even that sewer that runs down the middle of Ewing Street is 17 feet deep.
Yep.
So you get down there, I mean, you got a danger situation and you've got difficult situations, but the city wouldn't let us go out Wayne Street because that's an old brick sewer, and that's down 25 feet, 30 feet, something like that, maybe more than that according to GPS. But so it's always interesting when you get involved with historical old
100-year-old building.
100-year
building. But one of the things, again, to emphasize that, and Joe can show everybody, we've just been adamant that, we can't cover over these windows that are part of the original construction, and that really part of the beauty of this.
Oh, it is.
What makes this a special place, what makes it just a really beautiful space.
And open up the old space that used to be a stage down here and everything. It's a new enlarged room, there's no question about that.
And in some ways, we're closer to the original than we were before.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Just to be closer to that and to be able to use this space again for another 2 or 3 generations, and then they get to fix it.
I don't think I'll be around for that.
Me neither. I'm not coming back for that one. No. So just this great thing as you're looking around, a little bit of color difference, but
well, you try to match what you can match, and I'm certainly not a color expert by any stretch of imagination, but it looks blue-green to me. I don't know.
Well, and as you know, I mean, I don't know if you were a wee child then, but those used to be galleries, and that area was open, but then that had been closed up at one point, but kind of to finish that off in a more finished way.
Around
Yeah,
the
that
stage
used to be-
that Mark was speaking of that used to be here, that's what the gallery was for. You could actually sit up here and the floor was tiered so you could see from the gallery all the way to this level, but primarily you could see the stage.
Right. Yeah, all of this used to be where you see the wood panels, the space above that
Open.
was open. And people, there were actually, you could see there's spots up there had been dividers upstairs that could divide it into segmented spaces. But yeah, there were space up there, and the same over in this area too. That had all been opened.
This was a small entertainment venue.
Yeah.
You could sit up there as you do in opera houses and back here, and then you face the stage, and you had seats and food down here. So it was quite an experience.
And actually, you know, and in some sense, that sense of that back in there, we imagine at least some temporary staging so we can take it out, put it back in, and be able to use that space again in that way. And there's all of the electrical wiring for a video screen that could drop down. There's all the wiring that's installed to be able to put a projector. If somebody writes that idea on the back of a check, we'll take care of that for you. So, yeah, it's
No, this is
really-
going to be a nice room. There's no question about that.
Yeah. So
And we're laying the carpeting now, or starting the carpeting the next few days, and finishing this strip over here. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're on schedule for here.
Yes, yes. So we're kind of moving along. I think we are still pretty close to that October 11th schedule. Is that correct?
We are. Yes.
Yep.
I mean, the mechanical work that was taking upstairs and taking extra time didn't impede most of the work down in here. So
No, I was told just the other day that most of the carpet, Brian, I mean, you can reinforce this, but most of the carpet and painting should be completed in the next 30 days.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, literally,
come to that
there's
point-
literally finished carpet right there.
Yeah. All right.
yeah. So there you have it. And you can see there's even this new entrance as it's called. One of the things I just find amazing, especially with the opening up of that side over there, there is no electric light in here right now, and the room is this bright at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday afternoon. That how bright this space really has become. That obviously there's intentions for hanging of chandeliers and lights going up and all of that sort of stuff, but really that we're bright enough for Joe to be videoing us, and there's no.
Yeah, definitely uncovering the window on the south there. It's a huge, huge difference to the space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just huge. You know, in that sense of people before us renovated the place for what they needed it to be, renovating it for what we think we need it to be. So,
We have to remember that this was before the theater was
Right.
built in
Correct.
1955, 56 time frame.
Correct.
On the other side was the educational wing. So this was the main theater in those days, every year prior to 55, I think. So
yeah.
But like you said, there were a lot of people in here.
Yeah, it was
I mean, it
pretty
was
tight.
Yeah, there was classrooms, and then there were adults and different things on the stage. So
We can go over to what we know of as the fireside room, which remains the fireside room. And what's happened in here is over on the side, there's some new ducting for the air conditioning system that has been installed. You can see that, and there's a track there will be a divider, that, again, as there historically was, not the same doors, but there will be a divider here that can wall this off, and it can be a discrete unit. And really all that's happened in here is that it's been cleaned up. It's in the process of getting cleaned up.
well, they put some more ductwork, I believe, in here too, and that's
Correct.
why you see some of this new wall construction that's taken place, et cetera, and no drywall on this yet because I think some of the grills are not in place yet. So mostly
Yeah.
Brian's fault. You know, he just
Hey, somebody's got to be
Yeah.
to be the holder of the bag, so that'll be me.
And then if you remember, some of you may remember, then that library space, part of it's kitchen storage, but then also the storage that we lost over in the area where we took down that wall, that storage area, this then becomes the new table chairs storage area.
Yeah.
And at least according to the architectural print, there is more storage space in here than there was over there.
well, I assume used to be an organ there too, so it was a little tighter.
Yeah,
so,
a little tight over
yeah,
there.
but
So.
no, The church always needs a storage area,
Oh
that's
my
for
gosh.
sure.
Yes.
But I think as you said, the fireplace remains and still called the Fireside Room, but
I believe there's going to be an insert in there so that actually the fireside room can have a fire in it. So,
no.
yeah.
And the Fireside Room in Wagenhals Hall, of course, get all new fixtures too. And I understand those fixtures are due in the end of the month.
They're actually delayed a little. They're
Yeah.
custom made in California, and I believe they're actually slated
The end
to
of next
begin-
month, I meant.
Yes,
yeah.
there
That's
you
right.
go.
There you go. Yeah.
We hope to have them in place the beginning of November.
I think this is 1st of September already, so you never know.
Yeah. So here we are. We're actually in the it's a little bit like your spouse buys a new chair and you end up adding on an addition to your house, right? You know what I mean? Like somebody you got a new ottoman, you decide you have to renovate the whole house. Right? Right?
Where have I heard that before?
This is some chair.
You're like, oh my gosh. I mean, we got a new chair. We got to renovate the house. I mean, we've all been down that road before. But, a lot of this, $1.9 million later, really it started with this kitchen space. And Joe can show you a little bit of how that's all been opened and expanded. But here we are. You can get a sense of that kitchen here in this space. Back to that side, that all of that stainless steel, that behind that those strip papers is stainless steel, what you might call a backsplash. I think that's the problem. Is that what you call it, Brian? Is it a backsplash or just
Correct, sir.
So instead of ceramic tile and decorative, it's stainless steel, and then that hood ventilates that whole space, all of those ovens, and it all goes up through a hole in the roof, through a new duct system that is up in the upstairs office areas, the whole way up and out, which is kind of a new thing for us here.
It's kind of interesting, your fire suppression system
Yes.
then for the range hood. So if there ever is a uncontained fire,
Yes.
that will actually extinguish over here under the hood.
Correct. So there's going to be a fire pool at some point, and you do not want to pool that unless there's a fire, of course. So,
But this is basically besides the mechanical drainage system and the electrical lighting and some of the ductwork, this is where the money is spent right here. I mean, you can see, Joe, if you want to pan down here, all stainless steel and how expensive that stuff is. And that's this kitchen equipment, I understand, is all in storage, ready to come.
Yeah.
And so all we have to do is finish this area and have them come and stick it in. We face a reality too, the last 2-3 years with the COVID situation and everything else. We face so many material and supply increases, it's
Right.
unbelievable. And then we're fortunate enough to have some subcontractors who have done a great job.
Yes.
But just to get them to come to work, and with the workload that there is out there, and it continues to be steady, that we're able to get them here and do the work, and they've been on time. Most of them.
gosh,
We've
yeah.
had a few opportunities or challenges, I guess, but you've
Very-
handled
very-
most. You've handled
very
most
few.
of that.
Very
yeah,
few.
really very few. No, I mean, the construction guys, the Hagerman guys, the subs, really, it's been great. It's been easy having everybody here. But
Well,
we did.
I know you're not totally happy with that. Just like you can't
Oh.
you can't print the bulletins.
Well,
on
that's
Sunday.
not your fault,
No,
right?
I understand, but
I mean, your guys are. Yeah, no, we send out the bulletins to be printed for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
But it's part of the cost of progress. One of our people did just a 3% inflation. So $1.9 million is a lot of money for a kitchen. And if you renovated your kitchen, you might know that's a lot of money, but not crazy. But yet at the same time, somebody did a calculation that if we didn't do this at a 3% inflation rate, 50 years from now, it costs $74 million. Part of the cost is trying to bring this space into a compliance with what would be standard procedures for a kitchen that is more commercial than it is residential, right? And so the work that we do here is not quite like your home. And really, all of the volunteers who have worked in this for all of these years, we all know, we've all seen it, some of you actually have been in here. It's been tight space and the equipment just wasn't able to accommodate easily, feeding 100, 150, 200, 250 people. So what all of this does is bring it into a space that can be used. I think everybody's going to be shocked when they come in here to use it the first time because they're like, oh, what do I do? But also that it increases the building safety, both for the building and for all the people in here, right? That when this was built, different standards.
Sure.
Yeah, just different standards. But now, the ability to keep it safe, keep the building safe, keep the people safe, and make it easier to work in.
Well, I think the other thing too, Joe, is you might scan up here a little bit and give you an idea. But, when you tear down the old ceilings and you've got existing ductwork in there and you're planning on new ductwork, you've got to first of all, you got to take the old ductwork down. And some of the new ductwork, because of the regulations today, is bigger, wider, thicker, more insulated, things like that. And then there's not enough room between the proposed ceiling and the existing structure, which is they call it a pan job, which is poured in place concrete. Of course, you're not going to move that. So you've got to move the ceilings, you've got to move the existing ductwork, and there's finagling going on, as we talked about in this opening. It's worked out. It's worked out for us, and like you say, you're going to have a great semi-commercial kitchen here.
Yeah. You can, if you look up in there, I personally find this you see the original construction from 1924.
It tells a story. Those are layers. Those are layers of construction, and it tells a story.
1924, 1925. That's it's kind of incredible to see that. I think that poured concrete and the sturdiness of that, you can jump up and down it quite a bit.
Well, when you look at you look at the turn of the century, you didn't find a lot of poured in place concrete structures. I think there was one downtown, the old Patterson Fletcher building, and that was the first poured in place concrete job in Fort Wayne downtown. And so you got buildings like this that came on, and the high school, South Side, North Side, came on in the 20s and basically poured in place concrete.
Interesting. 3 freezers and 3 refrigerators will be back in this area, and that should accommodate everybody.
That's a good question. Now, what is the capacity as far as feeding people are concerned? How many people are we allowed to feed at one time?
Standing room, I believe, was over 200, but seating, probably about 150.
150 seating.
Yeah. So
you can have your wedding reception in here.
You can have your wedding reception here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your baptismal reception.
You can have your baptism reception in here. You can have your confirmation party in here. You can have your wake in here. We hope that's for none of us or any of you here anytime soon. But you might remember this was the library area.
Yeah.
And now is storage. It used to store some other stuff, but now will be storage for food. All of this area was kind of a hallway. The kitchen was over there and remains over there. Joe can kind of show you on the video. You can see the outline of where the floor used to be, where the kitchen ended and where the hallway began, where the wall for the library ended and the library began. And then so out here, though, as part of the expansion of the total space for the kitchen is space for dishwashers and wet food prep, kind of sinks and cutting areas and that sort of thing. So some of that's been separated out of that cooking space then.
You can show a little bit of what the inside of the new entryway will look like.
This is the new main entrance, I think, coming from the outside, but it will not be from the church side. The church side is back where the restrooms are. They're coming out of the connector.
Yeah, so part of the project also included adding an entrance here into Wagenhals directly from outside. You obviously could still get into Wagenhals from the church side. You can flow out or flow in from the nave, hop out of church right into Wagenhals. But also, if there's anything going on and it was just going through here, you don't have to go the whole way through. You don't have to go through the receptionist. You don't have to come in through the church. You can come directly in here. There used to be, in this spot, there used to be a stairway that went to the second floor right in here. And there was a closet that accumulated a lot of bric-a-brac. And so all of that obviously has been taken out. And now we have this vestibule that is in here. The floor upstairs was closed off, and so now you can come in this way, and it creates a nice little vestibule. That space would only, those doors would only be open when there's activity directly in Wagenhals.
Right.
We wouldn't open it any other time.
So anybody that wants to come in on Thursday nights or whatever can come through that door and not be involved with this door or the main door over
Correct,
there.
yes. So here we are back outside, obviously, and you can see the last time we were here, they had this whole pad cut open and they were pouring concrete and they were scuttling around putting some ductwork up on the roof. But here you can see that the asphalt's back, the concrete is back in its place. They've been working at trying to tone it down. It was as white as the driven snow when they first put it down. Now it's a little toned in with the rest of it. And you can see then, so the entrance over to Wagenhals, that direct entrance is then over on that side. And then the south-facing window, which is over there, which has now been opened back up, which you could see out here, but now I think we even took a bush out of there, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
The bush is going back, though.
The bush is going back, yes. So there you have it. So thanks for coming over.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all the help, and Brian especially for
Good to see you, Mark.
spending all the time with us and making the decisions
Good.
in a short period of time,
Yeah.
because you
Appreciate
know as
the
well as I
opportunity.
do, when you don't get decisions right away from the owner, etc., you can put it in neutral or you can put it in reverse a little bit. So it's worked out well, and we're very pleased with it. And thank you for all your cooperation.
Well, thank you all. I mean, it's great working with you guys. We knew it would be great working with your guys. I mean, really.
Here's that. Here's that tip.
I mean, really, from Jeremiah through Josh and Dan and all of the people that work here from Hagerman, we knew it would be a great experience, and it absolutely has been. But we're especially thankful for all of you who are part of this, and part of the reason why we're doing this work, so that we can accommodate the work of our church, work of our congregation, make better spaces, and enjoy them for another whole generation.
Spaces to enjoy one another.
And absolutely.
Oh, this is a great place.
Yeah.
Not only a great place to worship, but it's a great place to bring families, have fun, and
absolutely.
and now eat.
And now and eat some more. So thanks again, and it's great to see you. We look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.